Hello and welcome to AutoToday. My name is Dipayan and you're joining us as we drive the brand new 7th generation of the Jeep Wrangler. Now we've got a full day of off-roading ahead of us to find out just how this car performs. It's got a few cosmetic details changed, but the big changes are under the hood. So let's not waste any more time. Drive on and find out how this new Jeep Wrangler fares. We did. We forded a rising river at peak tide, descended a 41-degree incline, articulated through what was a perfectly unsanitized track of an 1800-acre soon-to-be national park, plowed through a sandbank, and not once through it all was there an instance where I felt like the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon was even slightly out of its depth. In fact, one of our comms team friends was in the back seat sleeping through the entirety of it. I mean, seriously, how good does a 4x4 have to be that you're confident enough to dangle off a 45-degree incline? Now, on this new edition of the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, under the hood, you get a 2-liter engine that makes 272 horsepower and 400 Nm of torque from its 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. It is paired with an 8-speed automatic gearbox, dual clutch of course, but that's not what makes the Wrangler the Wrangler. You get a 4-low, a 4-high auto, a 4-high part-time, a 2H, a front and rear locking diff, a rear only locking diff, a sway bar disconnect, an off-road plus mode, and built-in aux lights. Of course, these come as optional extras and they are about a lakh over the price of the standard Wrangler. But to show you what this Wrangler is really capable of, we're going to get to driving and you're going to see what all of this electronic wizardry goes to show. Now, off-road, there has been very little to stand in the way of a Jeep Wrangler, and in this 7th generation that continues very easily. This car has enough power, enough torque and enough electronic aids to make even the most complex obstacles seem easy without really requiring a high level of driver skill. But what stands out to me is its roadworthiness, not just on the highway but even through narrow lanes. The steering is light and easy to use. There is very little vibrations and harshness that make it into the cabin, and the suspension is surprisingly pliant. Now, we were driving the open-doored version of the Jeep where there was a huge amount of noise coming in from the knobbly tires as they were running on the road. But aside from that, the Jeep Wrangler did seem like a car that you can tour with, take off the doors, go off-road, come back, put the doors back on and drive back home. And that, I think, is exactly what the Wrangler has always stood for. And that continues in this 7th generation. Whew! That was an incredible day of driving, and we've put the Wrangler to the absolute test, as you've seen, and it's come out with flying colors and given us all a reason why the Jeep is such an icon and has been such an icon in the off-road space for so long. But before we get to our verdict, let me tell you a little bit about what's changed on the outside on this new 7th generation of the Wrangler. Now, while the Jeep Wrangler has retained its essential silhouette, there are some small subtle changes on the design that have made this 7th generation that much more attractive. You get a slightly redesigned 7-slot grille, and another really cool feature is the Corning Gorilla Glass windshield. On the inside, you do get a 12.3-inch infotainment system and a 7-array microphone with noise cancellation. You also get a new instrumentation panel with the premium Pearl lap. You also get 12-way power seats with McKinley Napa leather, and the best part, the entire interiors can be hosed down after a rough day off-roading. Another really cool thing that Jeep have integrated on this 7th generation of the Wrangler is a 552-watt Alpine audio system that sounds absolutely amazing. But it's not only the motor under the hood that makes the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon such a capable machine. You get a dedicated off-road plus mode that optimizes the throttle, the transmission and the traction control to ensure that those wheels keep rolling no matter what the terrain. One other really cool feature on the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon in its 7th generation is the electronic sway bar disconnect that allows you to disconnect and reconnect the sway bar on the go without ever having to leave the vehicle, and that's something that is really cool. You also get a front and rear locking diff, and you can choose to partially unlock or lock either of them whenever you want. And that's not to say there aren't safety features. The Jeep Wrangler Rubicon in its 7th generation has 85 plus safety features, including 6 airbags, front, side and curtain, Dana solid front and rear axles, automatic high beam headlamps, adaptive cruise control with stop and go, a full speed collision warning with active braking, integrated off-road camera system, park view rear backup camera, high and advanced steel used in the chassis, advanced brake assist, 4-wheel disc brakes, park sense rear brake sensors, traction control, 2-speed transfer case, tire pressure monitoring and 4 skid plates under the body.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now these 7 slats, they stand for something, and the reason why you know what they stand for is this car that's standing right behind me, the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. And now in its 7th generation, it has proved exactly why it has that sticker on the side of the hood as well as the badge at the back that says Wrangler. Now this vehicle has retained the essence of what it means to be a Wrangler while being more modern, while being more sophisticated and while being easier to use on the day-to-day. The only thing that we really don't know right now is the price, and that is something that is going to be very crucial to making the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon a competitive vehicle in India. So we'll leave the prices over here. Let us know in the comments what you think of the prices. As far as this car goes, if you are looking for a true blue off-roader with a pedigree, look no further than the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. This is all for me. This is Didi signing off.